Do not be deluded that the world is full of benevolent individuals and institutions whose only claim to fame is that they want to lift Africa from the morass that she now finds herself in. The reality is, the poverty of Africa is the glory of some civilizations. Poverty is an industry. Ignorance is an industry, big industry. And there are those who want Africa to continue to wallow in poverty and to wallow in ignorance because it is their safest bet to their continued benefit. The day we wake up to that reality, the safer we are. That is why the English had this beautiful saying, let sleeping dogs lie. So we are sleeping, and we are being allowed to lie. And we are being hypnotized into even greater sleep and slumber, to dream even further. But I'm telling us, if Africa is to realize our dream, we must wake up. Across Africa today, if you fly into Entebbe, the airport is being expanded. I would want to hear that Ugandan consulting engineers are taking 80% of the credit. I would want to know, you will tell me. When I fly into Julius Kambarage International Airport in Dar es Salaam, I see the expansion that is going on there. I would want to know that the Tanzanian consulting engineer is playing the lion's role there. I would want to hear. When I go to Bole International Airport in Ethiopia, the expansion is going on there. I would want to know that the African engineer is involved there, that the African architect is involved there. When I go to Blaise Diagne Airport in Dakar, in Senegal, I would want not to hear that some French designer designed it. The tragedy is, what I would want to hear is not what I hear. So that the consulting African engineer is in quite a number of countries still consigned to doing some rural roads. So that we may commission our football stadia, but they are designed in China and built by Chinese. That is not the path of growth that I would want to hear. I would want to hear another path of growth. Let us learn from the Chinese, but let us learn to do certain things ourselves. This is what Africa must hear. This, in my view, is what Africa must do. This is what other civilizations have done for sustainable development. You ask the Koreans how they did it. Ask the Chinese how they did it. Ask any other civilizations how they did it. Ask the Indonesians how they are doing it. They are using expertise from the world, but certain things are ring-fenced for their own professional. Do we ring-fence things for ourselves? I'm told we are ring-fencing only 30% in Uganda. Why are we ring-fencing 30%? Let us ring-fence 70%. It can't be done because it is a question of cross-fertilization of ideas. We must learn from other civilizations, but learning must not mean surrendering to them. I'm submitting to us that we surrender to them. Today, Morocco, and I stand to be corrected, is engaged in developing one of the largest solar farms anywhere in the world. I'm still talking about consulting engineers even in that field. Kenya is doing another major solar project, and all African countries ought to be engaged in it. Namibia, I think, is also engaged in it. But if you ask who the consulting engineers are for those projects, they are not Africans. Even the solar panels that are going to be used, the best that African countries will do is to assemble them. They'll be brought as completely knocked down kits, and ours is to assemble them as our children assemble Lego.